All right, so we are going to talk about origami. Yes, it's live television. If you didn't know it, it is indeed live TV. So whatever happens, happens. I've tripped, I've fallen over, I've dropped things. The crew has spilled things. It's always kind of an adventure, but we are live. So when you need a drink of water, well, sometimes you gotta get a drink of water. All right, guys, so we're gonna talk about origami. This is the original. Origami shelves are amazing. And you think, who would sell shelves? Like, you go to like a hardware store to buy shelves. No, you gotta buy origami. If you are in that mood right now, where you're just like, I'm organizing my whole world, the garage, the basement, the attic, the closets, I'm over it, I'm gonna get organized. And it does feel good to do that. Origami's gotta be part of the solution. And it's because they're the smartest, most convenient shelves you ever own. Did you notice that lovely girl just pulled that shelf out of a little teeny space by the fridge in a garage, and all of a sudden now we have quite a large space to be able to get organized. They roll easily, they flatten down to nothing, there's nothing to put them together, they're just absolutely brilliant, and they're very heavy duty at the same time. It looks like we're down to 4 colors. I'm gonna get Lou on the phone with me in just a second. We have the white, which I have right beside me, we have the teal, we have the vintage brawn, and we have the sage. So I've got 4 colors available. And indeed, Lou is joining me via phone. And I'm gonna do your demo for you, Lou, because you know what? I know this one and I can. Hi,
well,
Lou.
and it's that easy to do, too.
It is that easy, absolutely. All right, so why do you think origami, oops, I gotta do one more thing, sorry. I never take mine down, Lou, which is really funny, so I forgot about this part, but it is easy. All right, so take us to the origami story. Why do we love these?
Well, I think people love origami because it is one of those products that we sort of under-promise and it over-delivers, you know? Yeah. People get it home. It's easier than we say to set it up. And they're durable, and they hold a ton of weight, and they're just incredibly practical, I think, especially if people have, like, built other types of shelving in the past, you know, where it's a lot of sweat, it's a lot of tears, there's instructions. With origami, there's none of that.
Right. Okay, so let's get into this too, because I just closed it and now I'm opening it again. I want to talk about the little origami secret, because as you said, there's nothing to build. You can throw the wheels on, but that took nothing. that was easy. Let's talk about this little famous latch right here that makes it super special.
Yeah, well, that's a patented design of origamis that, you know, allows you to take something that is 12 linear feet of storage when it's opened and compress it down to just 4 inches for storage. I mean, these are powder-coated steel racks. Yeah. So to be able to open and close them like that is actually pretty remarkable. And that, like I said, that is a patented design that's on the back of it. So, you know, you have something there that nobody else in the industry has.
Right, right. And it is patented. And I'll tell you what, let's talk about weight capacity. First off, the neatest thing about it, you could load this baby up and it still rolls that easy. But let's talk about the incredible weight capacity on this, Lou.
Yeah, so the weight capacity of this, really what it comes down to is, do you want to use the wheels or not? You know what I mean? That's a personal preference, because we give you the 4 wheels. 2 of them are locking, and you have the choice of putting them on or not. If you put the wheels on, it raises the entire unit 3 inches off the ground. So we don't want it to get tippy, so we tell people limit yourself to 75 pounds per shelf with the wheels, and that comes out to a total of 300 pounds, but that's 300 pounds that you can roll around if you want to. Now, if you don't put the wheels on it, then you can go to the maximum weight capacity, Suzanne, which is 250 pounds per shelf for a total of 1,000 pounds. And that's literally a half a ton of weight.
A half a ton. You literally can put a half a ton of that stuff that's making you crazy in the garage or in the basement or in the closet. Do you have a half a ton of stuff in your closet? Well, guess what? It can handle it. That's pretty amazing. All right, let me give you a quick update of where we stand in quantity. And I believe, let's see, in the sage, we're down to 25. So I want you to see that really pretty green sage, because it's a gorgeous color. By the way, these can also be used outdoors, which I know Lou will explain more in just a second. But look how pretty that sage is. I have 26 available. In the white, I am down to the final 300. In the teal, I have 250. And in the vintage bronze, I have 215 in the teal. And then in the vintage bronze, I have 174. Yeah, can you guys lift that just a little bit? Because I cannot see the top of that teleprompter. It's like I'm taller than the camera. How unusual is that? Thank you. Okay, so that's my quantity that I have. Sorry, Lou. Again, it's live television. It's kind of crazy. So, Lou, let's talk about some of the uses. You know, what is the craziest use you've heard of?
The craziest
or the most unusual?
Use. You know, it's funny because like I hear people who call in and they have we had a lady about a couple weeks ago that had over 50 of them, and, you know, all various kinds because we do sell a lot of different models, but she had all different kinds. I can't think of what the craziest thing I've ever heard somebody use. I've heard people use them as entertainment.
Well, bird cages. One of mine is bird cages. Yeah, they're birds, and also another one was aquariums.
Well, but remember, since these are powder-coated steel, you can use these indoors or outdoors, and that's something that we haven't talked about yet. But, you know, a lot of times you'll buy metal furniture of some sort, and it'll be painted, you know, and the painting makes it look pretty, but it doesn't do a whole lot to protect it. When you powder coat something, that not only makes it look good, but it makes it durable, and it won't, you know, it'll resist chipping, it will resist scratching, but it will also resist corrosion, and that's the big deal. That's why we tell people use these indoors, outdoors, whatever you want, and it's not going to affect them one way or the other.
Yeah, and if you ever think about it, how many of you think about your space right now? Let's think about your garage. How many of you, one, have a hot mess in the garage? Or number two, you've got those plastic shelves and they're bowing in the center because they got paint cans on them. And nobody touches the paint. That paint has been sitting there for 40 years because you know if you lift one can off, that whole thing is just gonna collapse. You're just never gonna have that problem with the Origami. The other thing that I always suggest is if your situation changes, move your Origami. For example, I don't know, Lou, if you've heard, but I went from a 2,000 square foot home to a 700 square feet. And my Origami has moved beautifully with me. When we bought a lot of shelving units, usually once you build them, they're particle board and you're never gonna move them, you're gonna throw them out, which is a waste. And environmentally, it's not very smart. When you buy an Origami, because it's so mobile, because it collapses down, it goes with you. So if your living situation changes, like mine recently has, then I can take my Origami with me. And I love that, Lou, because it's no longer investing in shelving units that actually just stay where they are, or you have to throw them out because they're so poorly made.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, that, you know, other shelving units, they're basically just a gift to the next owner, you know? That's what that comes down to. The kind that you have to drill into the walls, or even the particle board kind, because honestly, you know, I always tell people, half kidding, you can only move them one time, because that's true. The screws get stripped, you know, they start to fall apart. With Origami, they're made to be open and closed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. It's not going to hurt them at all. And think about this, too. Most shelving systems, forget about moving them. When you take everything off of them, let's say that you went to the big box stores, you loaded it up, and then you've used everything up. Now you've got an empty shelf, and it has to just sit there, but not with Origami. It's a storage solution, not a storage problem. You can close it, and now you've got all that space back.
That's true. And here's something else Lou and I both do. I have Origami at home, and like I said, I've moved my smaller ones into my new place, and they fit perfectly in my closet. I have one closet, and it opens up, and now I have my little Origamis stacked beside each other like this. I'll show you exactly how it is. So envision a much smaller one, but this is how I do it. I put them side by side. And so when I need one, I can just pull one out, get what I need, and put it back, almost like a filing system. And this is how I use my big guys. I have the originals in the pewter in my storage space, because the problem with that is I used to have box after box after box piled on top of each other, and nobody was grabbing the bottom box. I don't even know what was in there. So I thought, wait a minute, I'm gonna move my Origami in, and now I use all the space. So to get into my storage space, I roll one out into the hallway, and then I can get into my storage space, get what I need, and then I roll it back in. So I'm 100% maximizing my storage space. And I know you've done that with your storage space as well, right?
Oh yeah, I had 2 rows of 3 across in my storage unit. I mean, basically it was floor to ceiling origami. And to your point, the thing I always needed was always in the bottom box, So when they were all stacked up, that didn't work out too well. But when I had the origamis in there, it was great. And I did some math one time. I almost had to get a second storage unit. And what occurred to me was they're not just charging me for the floor space. They're charging me for everything all the way up to the ceiling. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if that's the case, use the vertical space. Use it at home. Use it in your storage unit, anywhere you go. That's the space that's being unused that, is valuable real estate that you're not tapping yet.
Yeah, you're 100% correct on that too. And now when I go into my storage, I can pull something out, I can grab it, I can put it back. I have access to everything. It's not just a waste of money just to be a dusty old closet for me where I never retrieve anything from it. Now I actually use our storage space, so it's worth me having the storage space now because I can get to everything that I need, whether it's our Christmas decorations or it's my winter clothes or my spring clothes when I switch them over. It's awesome. And if you guys don't have one yet, read the reviews. Oh my gosh, over the years we've sold these origamis, I bet you we have had hundreds of thousands of reviews. And if you will go on .com right now and you just scroll down through origami, you'll see customer pick, customer pick, customer pick, customer pick. Even my son, he's a big book reader. He reads real books, not electronic books. And he said, Mom, I need some shelves. He lives in a one room and in a house with a bunch of guys at college. I said, oh my gosh, go online, get the origami. I said, don't you dare buy any other shelving unit because I know he's gonna be graduating. Yay, and he's gonna leave, but guess what? Your origami changes with your life circumstance. Whether you're downsizing like me, thank God I have more origami because it makes my space smarter, or maybe you're just moving to a different space. Now your shelves go with you because guess what? It can. Do I have to wrap up, Rick? Is that what you said? All right. So Lou, I'm gonna close this up one more time just so everybody can see it, and then we're gonna wrap it up and also do for sure, look at this, look at that. Now remember, it can hold a ton without the wheels, and it's closed up to how many inches, Lou? What are you talking about, 3 inches, 6 inches?
Yeah, it's about 3-4 inches across when it's closed, yep.
How great, like this could fit almost beside your washer and dryer, right, in that little space, and yet when you open it up without the wheels, it holds 1 ton. A ton, isn't that crazy? All right, Lou, thanks for joining us, buddy.
You're very welcome.
Have a great night.
You too.
Alrighty, so we're gonna wrap up on this, and again, I've got 4 colors. Unfortunately, the sage is almost completely gone. Also, I want to mention too, if you want to use and maximize your space in a really kind of